So today I'm going to do my brush styling routine as my first IGTV. So here's my Denman, brand new. I was using a little 5-row travel size because I just wanted to try it out, not invest as much money. Totally worked. My hair's not that long, so definitely suggest this if you're just you don't have really long hair, shorter hair, and you just want to try a small 5-row. So that works, especially I think probably if you have even shorter hair, this is a good one. But my hair is growing and I thought this was really pretty. So I thought I'd invest in the I think it's the typical 7-row. Anyway, let's see how it goes. Today's gel, I use it with my gel application. I know a lot of people use it before, but I found it works better if, like, after the plop and my other stylers, I do gel, a squeeze of gel per section and style it with the brush, then scrunch and dry. So let's see how it goes. This is the Curlsmith in shower style fixer, so it's harder hold gel. If it doesn't have enough hold, I've used it before and it needs a little more. I might layer a little Aussie on top of it. We'll see. All right. So I put per section about that much, maybe a little more. If I don't put enough, it doesn't hold the clumps, and then I'm not happy, and I don't think it's the product's fault, but it's probably my application. So my hair is like flipped over, and what I do is I work from the back. So I pull this little section in back down. I brush through it once, just from the other stylers I've used. So for my cream today, I use this Marrakesh that I hadn't used since I first started concentrating on my curls again back in October. I didn't love it, but I think I used too much of it. It was greasy. I've learned a lot since then, so I thought I'd try just a little amount, emulsified in water, really diluting it and then spreading it through my hair. And my hair just, I could tell right away, didn't feel as greasy, so I think this one, less is more. So I'll distribute this on my hands. So it's a pretty small section. I don't know if you guys can see, but a pretty small section in back. Feels like it needs a little more. So I'm putting a little more. And I want the hair to feel like it will clump, because that's what's needed. So then, probably not the best ones to start with, but it's how I do my routine. So with these bottom back pieces, they're really short, and I'm just gonna like brush them out and then go to the side and brush them in the side so I can kind of twirl them. I kind of do a loose twisting finger coil thing in back, not anything too precise, but just want those underneath pieces. They're really dry and kind of straighter on me, so I want to make sure I give them a good scrunch, can twist and scrunch, so that those don't end up totally straight, although by day 2 they're definitely a lot straighter. So then either I'll start on like a little bit of the side to my mid-ear or go in for another section to pull down. So today I'll start on this small section, that kind of from the back to mid-ear. I just kind of pull that away so I know that's the section I'm going for. I don't clip when I'm doing the gel because that's just a lot of work. Or maybe when it gets longer I will, because it'll just be too long and messy to deal with otherwise. So then I just kind of pull it through, whether it's praying hands or roping or raking, kind of whatever, a hodgepodge of technique to pull the product through, and then I brush it through with a Denman. So before, when I'm styling, I comb everything through as I'm applying and scrunching with my wide tooth comb to distribute product in the first phases. I always use a leave-in, which I didn't show you guys. I use the Weedad Moisture leave-in. I always use the leave-in cream mousse and gel. Occasionally I'll do with maybe just like the aloe vera gel, but realistically, the combo, which seems very odd for in the curly verse. That's what I use, and that's what works for me. So I think it's like the cream, the leave-in cream gives moisture, the mousse gives some volume and some hold, but not nearly enough to hold the clumps, and the gel holds the clumps. I've started using a little hairspray either before or after I scrunch out the crunch with an oil or serum, just to set everything. I like the LA Hold. I think it's the Giovanni LA Hold hairspray. Been using that. It's really light. I don't follow the CGM, so I'm not really concerned with what the ingredients are. I just kind of want to look at what's recommended out there and what people like, and then I try it and see if I like it. So yeah, this is the hairspray that I sometimes set with. Not every time, but it helps like set the volume for the day, at least on wash day. And I always get, these days since I started this Instagram, I generally get good wash day results. That was not always the case between October and like early February. But since I started the page, I was getting more than just the 2 days out of my wash. I've been getting 3 days. I'm coming off of a 4-day wash cycle, which is exciting for me. And I probably look like Cousin It tucking from behind my hair. But that's fine. So you can see I kind of brush through all the product, and then I take the smaller sections of my little section and kind of pull that through, maybe dangle it, make sure it clumps. I don't go with micro sections because I'm not that patient and I don't care that much, but after I brush through the small sections in that section that I'm styling, I scrunch it so the clumps kind of come together. I have like this wavy curly pattern somewhere between a 2B, maybe some 3A pieces in front. But it's definitely in the majority of my hair is in the 2 section, but the roots have been getting curlier and curlier as it's been growing out. So who knows? Maybe I'll end up with more 2C, 3A. That's like kind of my ideal hair type. I like the big curls like I have. I mean, I'm happy with that. I've had them all my life. So I just, next section, I think I'll grab this back section here because it's been sitting there waiting for me. Again, the sections I'm taking and applying the gel to are not that big, but I find if I don't do these kind of section out, I don't get as good of distribution even with a brush and a comb of the product. And I'm not actually styling every piece. I probably miss pieces just because I go too fast and I'm not that careful. I kind of style my hair, I take photos, all the things I do kind of, I don't want to say haphazardly, but I do kind of my way. I do everything by feel, so this helps me do it by feel because it's a little more smaller sections at a time, so I don't lose sections that I may not have done or whatnot. I have another section here that probably I'd pull towards the back as opposed to the sides, so I'll go ahead and style that as well, and then I'll move to the more front side sections. And how big is this? This is like between like probably a diamond nickel size that I'm doing per section. Sometimes it's enough, sometimes it's not. It just depends what my hair soaks up and how big the actual section is. If my hair feels like it needs more, like I said, I definitely just put more on because otherwise the whole wash day will be ruined, which is another reason why I go through and do these sections, because what I would find before is my hair is so porous, it just soaks up product. And it doesn't really, if it doesn't distribute well and if it doesn't clump well at the beginning, then the wash day is not going to be great. And as is, my hair soaks up so much product that usually by day 2 it gets pretty dry. And this just, it's not dry as in like brittle, but it just feels like, I don't know, it definitely needs more hydration. By day 2, although my day 2 this last time really felt good. I don't know if it was the products that locked in the moisture. They did have silicones in them, again, not CG. So maybe that helped lock in moisture. So day 2, I didn't use any product refresh, not even to glaze over, which is what I usually do. So that got me to day 3, where my day 3 looked better than my day 2 ever looks. And my day 4 looked like my day 3 usually looks and feels. So I got 4 days, and that's a first because my scalp usually screams at me. The scalp tells me when to wash, whether it's day 2, day 4. Scalp says wash because I have psoriasis, and you just gotta wash when your scalp thinks you should wash. So yeah, so I'm off of a 4-day wash. I did do a kind of, I call it a half clarify and kind of a half deep condition. I used my Weedad shampoo, which is normal. It's not really a clarifier. It's like a low poo-ish, gentle cleanser. I mean, but it's not a co-wash because I don't do co-wash. Did those like 17 years ago. Didn't care for that. So have not revisited that because I'm just not going to do that this time around in my curly journey. But so yeah, so I do this Giovanni 50/50 clarifier, which is still a gentle. It's not really a SLS shampoo, but it seems to get the job done when it feels like the hair's not quite clean, or if it just needs a little more something to pull stuff, build up off. So I did that. Actually, it's the second wash, which is when I'm not planning on it. So I washed with the Weedad, mixed it through, and it just felt like it needed washing again. Didn't feel like the Weedad was going to do it on its own. Because sometimes I'll just wash twice with whatever shampoo I'm using, and that's fine. But I decided to, first I did my ends, and then I, honestly, because the ends are what felt not great. Maybe it's because it was a 4-day wash cycle. So then I just took the whole thing up to the root with the 50/50 Giovanni 50/50 clarifier and just clarified. And this is after I'd already root scrubbed my hair with my scalp brush in the shower. I did that with the Weedad wash, and I did the 50/50 clarifier as the second wash, and that really got it clean. And I'm like, well, I'll probably have a really good wash day because I typically do if I clarify at all. And this is kind of a micro clarifier because when I really mean to clarify, I wash it twice with the clarifying shampoo. And then I know my hair is like totally empty palette, but I think I did this last week too. So instead of going like 2 weeks between clarify, I've done like 2 mini clarifying sessions. So then, because it wasn't a full clarifying day, I did, so my normal conditioner has quite a bit of protein on it, and it already suggests you leave it on 3 to 5 minutes, which is kind of similar to deep conditioners. So I did that with a more moisturizing hair mask. And I do this a lot. I'll layer like a protein and a more moisturizing conditioner or mask together. And I just like to make sure things are balanced. Don't want to leave my hair without any protein or moisture overload, because that happened early in my process. That, I mean, it wasn't horrible, but I was like, why is my hair so mushy and fly away? And it was because I'd probably just been concentrating too much on moisture and not really paying attention to protein. So start paying more attention to protein. I have a lot of protein products. Today I did actually, I used the Bouncy Strength Volume Foam. So that has protein in it from the protein line by Curlsmith. So I'm pulling this kind of side but not middle part and doing that. I do like the very center front last. There's probably a quarter size gel amount. The longer pieces need a little more gel, and if there's too much, I just put it on the next section. That's fine. It'll get brushed through. This gel does not dry that fast. The Aussie does. I love the Aussie. I use a little more generous with the Aussie, but it dries pretty fast, so I have to kind of work through the sections. super quickly. This one definitely is a kind of a furled coming out of the tube, but not necessarily that firm after it dries. I don't know. Aussie has probably been the best hold for me, although I used the Amica last wash day, and that one has quite a bit of protein in it too, so worked well. This is probably going to use up most of the trial size version of, or the little travel version of the Curlsmith I got. But I might get it again. I haven't decided yet if I loved it, so that's why we're doing it today. If I like it, I might order the bigger size. So I do generally side parts. My next section may have a little bit that falls over to the side. That's probably the part that's going to go to my right side. Not sure how much I like this bigger brush for my hair. My hair is still not that long, so but I'll start using it. Maybe I'll get used to the bigger. Sometimes the travel size felt like too small, so I was like, I probably need to get the full size brush. They're, you know, I keep hearing people are like, oh, they're so expensive. They're not that expensive. I mean, all the products I get are more expensive. But, I mean, I don't go through the products very fast because I have a lot of products, and I'm only washing every 3 or 4, you know, before every other day, but every like 3 or 4 days. I mean, everything I have in my cabinet will probably last months. I'll probably buy more before I should. So I've already put a bunch of excess in this middle section. I'm just going to do a little more, which is good because I don't have too much more. I'm just going to make sure this front part, and it's the part that everybody sees on Zoom calls and whatnot, so I need to make sure the front sections look good. I mean, I like my back sections to look good, but if the curls are wonky or if they don't settle right, it's not the end of the world. I mean, the pandemic's going to be over soon, so hopefully, knock on wood. So hopefully you'll start to see the back of my head again, but for now, they don't. So I tried to get the back good. I cut in some layers a while back because it wasn't curling right because it was all too long and heavy. I tried thinning the bottom, which I know is a big no-no for curlies, just because I had so much hair right after I got my hair cut in October. In the bottom back, it was not good. But anyway, I didn't do that again. I mean, but I did cut some layers in, and that helped tremendously the back curl and clump better. My hairstylist, when I do go back to salon, is probably going to be like, what did you do back here? I probably butchered it. But I have not blown out my hair straight. I'm just going to put a little more. There's another like quarter size amount of gel. I'm just going to glaze over the whole thing and scrunch in. Make sure all the curls are nicely saturated and have that nice squishy sound. So I did also recut in some long bangs, like I think in January maybe, just because they had kind of, my side swoop bangs I was growing out had grown out too much and the front pieces were too heavy. I found I don't love bangs, but I like some shorter pieces in front, so that's kind of what I'm keeping them at. I'll probably just keep trimming them up to be that kind of, however they are now. I kind of like that length. So it's still really kind of a no bang, but gives you a little bit of more shape in front, because I like the longer pieces in front, but I also like, I don't know, I like everything. I want my cake and eat it too. I kind of go back and feel the back just in case there's not enough product in back. Of course, if I were to run out of this, I might need another gel. I think there's a little bit more in here. Yep, there's a little more. Probably another like nickel size, just making sure the back has enough. Because I think maybe I was trying not to use too much of this gel because it's expensive and last time, but I just did my hair with the Amica the other day, which is also a very expensive gel, and I just used it for the whole thing. And I think if I use enough, we're all good. Okay, I didn't want to over touch it, just scrunching in. Maybe my hands off on the microfiber towel because it already soaks up a ton. I'll probably rinse them off just so do the product be off my hands. So yeah, so that's my gel routine. I've already done in a reel my fun dry routine, so I'll reference that in the caption. But anyway, I'll come back when it's all done. Hi, so I just scrunched out the crunch. I used my Ghost Oil and I picked it through with a scalp massager. It works better than a pick for me. Yeah, so that's it. This is just scrunch out the crunch, so I would say there's a light crunch on it. I did finish spray it with a hairspray like I mentioned before. I'll probably do my wash day selfie photo shoot a little later. I usually wait until it's like settled and softened up a little bit. And anyway, bye.